There has been mission fields that we went to that even some people surrendered their charms for burning. We have seen so many miracles. A woman that the child have not spoken for a long time, the child was dumb, actually spoke right there. A madman got his healing right there. There was a call for witches and they came out. They all gave their life to Christ. Witches, they came out in their good numbers and they gave their life to Christ. My name is Oyeleke Folaranmi Olawande. I'm from Ondo State, married to a man from Osun State. So I'm a breed of both Ondo and Osun, so to say. I'm married to Benjamin Oyeleke Olanrewaju, and to the glory of God, we have 3 kids, 2 boys and a girl. And we've been married for almost 11 years now. By September, we'll be 11 years in marriage, and it's been a wonderful time. I'm a teacher. I teach with Lagos State, and as well, a children teacher in church too. So I love teaching. Okay, should I say my first mission experience was doing NYC. I was involved with NCCF. So there we do a lot of missions, rural rugged and all that. That was my first experience. Then when I got married, my husband was already into missions before I married him. So should I say marriage brought me back into mission, so to say. So we just continued from there. It has always been missions, missions, missions. Okay, over the years there have been many challenges, but God has been faithful. The major challenge has been the challenge of availability of my husband. Sometimes he can travel for weeks and just you and the kids. Sometimes that can be very challenging, because when you're thinking of just me, nobody to talk to as an adult in the house, just you and the kids, that has been a challenge anyway, but God has been faithful. Then the challenge of coming to the missions itself, there's so many challenges on the mission field. Challenge of communication. Communication is a barrier sometimes, because you have to bring whatever you're saying down to their level, their diets, what they understand and all that. Then the barrier of being accepted sometimes, especially when you are going among the unreached people. Maybe we had more of Muslims, more of idol worshippers. Sometimes getting accepted can be challenging. Like this morning, we had an experience. We had a Muslim child with his siblings. We are trying to convince her to come in for the program, but she was like, she's not coming in. Her papa must not hear about it. They will beat her and all that. So we persuaded her a lot. She refused to come in. Even a younger one that was inside, she called them out and even scolded them that why did they go into the church to attend the church program. But after a lot of persuading and all that, she went. But later she came back and she joined us. That's also a challenge of being accepted, because the child felt, why should I go inside the church? Why should I be part of what Christians are doing? But thank God that to the glory of God, she later joined us with her siblings and they were part of the program. So that has been a challenge. Then sometimes the challenge can be where we want to sleep, what we want to eat. Sometimes it may be the water. The water can be as dirty as you can think of, but you don't have a choice. You have to bear with it. Sometimes where you want to sleep. The last mission we went to before this, when I took my kids along, when I saw their body, I felt sorry for them. Their body was full of scars from mosquito bites and all that. So that's also a challenge. But in all, God has been faithful. That's all I can say for now. Yeah, for that one, I think I mentioned the one when I said when my husband is not always around. That's a challenge on its own, because as a woman, sometimes you want attention and you are not getting it because he's on the field. Sometimes you don't even have opportunity to communicate with him for days. That's a challenge on its own. Then concerning finances, sure, there are financial challenges as well. Like I say, okay, being a missionary, you are trusting God for the next move or for the next set of financial opportunities. So that has also been a challenge. But in all, one thing I just know is that even when there are financial needs, sometimes in the morning you may say, this is a need. But sometimes before the end of that day, miraculously God just supplies and you say, God. So God has been faithful in all. There have been financial challenges, fine, but God has been faithful enough. It has never lingered for too long. Somehow, God will just provide. Somebody can just call in from somewhere, and you'll be surprised that that thing that is in your heart that you really needed so much will just be supplied for us. So financially, it has been supplied. Sometimes even the children, they can be very funny and say, when is daddy coming back? This one, that one. You need to explain. Tell them why the dad have not been around, when he'll be coming back and all that. So there has been some personal challenges anyway. Can I really say there has ever been a point in time I felt like quitting? I can't really say there has been a point in time that I felt like quitting, but there has been some point in time that I was down. Should I say that I felt down, felt neglected, felt like, God, why me? Why should this happen? There have been times I felt, I wish this cup can pass over me. But there has not really been a time that I'll be like, let me just stop this thing. Because just like I said, I've been involved from the times of NYSC. So that has given me a drive and that passion for let's just people just be saved. And the passion for children too has been there. So there has not really been a time I felt like quitting, but there have been times of when I was down and you felt discouraged, but you pick yourself up again and encourage yourself in the Lord. So that's what I can say about that. Okay, yes, there has been a lot. I can say that doing these missions, God has really used it to save souls. Sometimes, like one of the men that are here, working with Oyeleke to do transportation and all that, the man got saved on our first visit to Loti village. That was when he got saved, and since then, that was more than 5 years ago now. Since then, he has been laboring among his people, working tirelessly with his people. Even on this particular outreach, I've seen him transporting people to and fro, and since then he has been serving the Lord. Then there's been mission fields that we went to that even some people surrendered their charms for burning, and to the glory of God, they brought out those things, it was burnt, and they gave their life to Christ. Then we have seen so many miracles. Like there was one we heard in Benin Republic, a woman that the child have not spoken for a long time. The child was dumb, actually spoke right there, and that was what brought people out. And that same outreach, a madman got his healing right there. So there has been a lot of exploits, and we have even been to places where, should I say, some people did not give their life, but you could see that conviction in them. Because there was a place we went to, and the man was saying, you are saying the truth, but because I am the one in charge of our family shrine and all that, but I release my wife and my children, let them go. So such a man, I know that even when we leave, I will keep praying for them with the power of God, he will still come to Christ. So there have been so many. There was even one that there was a call for witches, and they came out. They all gave their life to Christ. Witches, they came out in their good numbers and they gave their life to Christ. So there have been so many exploits to the glory of God. Anything I regret? I don't think there's been anything I regret. If there's anything I regret, maybe I regretted not speaking to a particular person. Or, okay, let me say one thing I still think maybe a little regret. Because we also have a children club that we take, like a children discipleship class. We do that twice in a month. Not here, at our base there at Tigboilu, down in Ogun State. So there was a time a Muslim girl came around. She came around for that discipleship class, and we tried as much as possible to make her feel among, not to feel neglected, because she felt she was the only one putting on hijab. So after that time, we didn't see her again. So I can say my regret there is that probably I would have taken her home address or something to be able to disciple her one-on-one and to be able to get closer to her. So I can say, even today, I was still asking somebody that we've not seen this girl for quite a long time. And she was telling me that she gave an excuse of her mother was not feeling fine, she couldn't come out and all that. So probably if we had had a one-on-one conversation with her on that particular day, maybe we would have been able to keep her in Christ. So I think that's a regret, because ever since then, I've not seen her again. Okay, my little charge to missionaries generally is that keep striving, keep going. Even though sometimes it may be as if there is no result, or the things are tiring, we should just keep striving. One thing I know is that once we have set our hearts to do something and God is in support, it will surely work out fine. And my advice to missionary wife is that we should try to support our husband, because once the home front is intact, it will be easier to minister. It will be easier even to bring souls to Christ. But once the home front is not intact, there's no, even when the man is on the altar, he's thinking about it, my wife at home, my kids, my this, my that. So we should be a pillar of support to our husband, physically, spiritually, in the place of prayer, in all aspects. Because these men, when they go out for things like that, sometimes spiritually the wife needs to back up. There was a time my husband went for an outreach. I didn't go with him, but right there I felt it that something strange came into the house, and I started praying. Thank God I was on fasting all through when he was away. I felt that thing and I started praying and praying. And when he came back, he told me that right there when he was on the mission field, somebody was telling him that the Spirit of God was ministering to him that the demon has gone ahead of him to Nigeria. So I was like, wow, that particular time I also felt it, and I was praying. So that is why, as missionary's wife, we must not be lacking spiritually. Because if we do, God forbid I wasn't sensitive at that particular time, something else might have happened at home, and we just get them and say, sorry, this happened while you were away. So as missionary's wife, we should always be on guard. We should be a security both to our husband, to the ministry, and to all aspects. So that's my advice to missionary's wife. They never let your husband get frustrated to the extent that he will come out of missions. Sometimes the finances may not be coming, but if you keep pushing him, you may push him out of missions on the name of he's trying to satisfy his wife, he wants to give him money, wants to do that. So we, as much as possible, we should not put so much burdens on them. There will be so much that they will be discouraged and get out of missions. Because if they do, God forbid, we will suffer for it, because it's a call which must be fulfilled. So that's my advice to missionary's wife. Wow, a church to the body of Christ. Really, I think mission should be number one on every church and every Christian's budget on our list. Because when the Bible says go into the world, he wasn't talking to the pastors, he wasn't talking to missionaries, he wasn't talking to apostles, he was talking to everyone that is a Christian. And somebody once said something, I hold it there, that if you know what it means to be a Christian, you want everybody to come into it. So it should be our lifestyle. It shouldn't only be when we are on the mission field. It should be our lifestyle. Mission starts from our place of work, our place of academics, our place of influence. Everywhere we find ourselves, we should let mission be a driving force for us. We should see ourselves as missionaries everywhere we get to. So as Christians, I think mission should be our first call, our number one thing on our list, our number one priority. That I just want to see the next person being saved. I just want to see the next person being saved. From our little conversation, we should chip in missions. In our finances, we should chip in missions. In our career, we should chip in missions. Everything we are doing, let mission be a lifestyle. It should not be something of only when I go to the field or when I'm opportune. It should be a lifestyle. We should live out the life of a missionary. And at the same time, we should not leave out the place of supporting missionaries, physically, financially, and spiritually. In our quiet time, we should make missions part of our prayers. We can pray for missionaries, pray for the unreached people group, pray for the less reached group. By so doing, we can also be part of missions. So that is also a commitment to missions. Okay, if I say how many places we've visited, as a person, I've not been going to all the missions. Reason being that number one, the kids, which I need to take care of back at home. Then number two, my work, because it's not every time I'm opportune to follow them. Like I said, I'm a teacher. I teach in a Lagos State school. So but sometimes when I'm on midterm, I'm on holiday, I can go for long trips. Like this now, I was able to come on Thursday because I didn't go to work for some reasons. I had some assignments that I have to do. That's the school I was posted to. They fortunately for me, they weren't having anything on Thursday and Friday. That was why I could come. So sometimes I join them on Friday. So to say how many places, to be sincere, I've lost count. Because even in this 1 minute environs alone, in the last 2 years, we were in like 11 villages in this place alone. But for Project Save, I've been to so many places in the north, in the west itself, in Benin Republic, in Ghana, in Malawi, and so many places. So I've lost count. Maybe the president will be able to give us a count of that. But for me, I've lost count.